Welcome to How-To With Howco, the podcast that connects you with Howco team members. I'm your podcast host, Bruce Hensley. In this episode, David Martin, Howco Equipment Sales Manager for the Southeast Territory, will share his insight and experience on how to get the most out of car wash trade shows. All right, David, we're talking about trade shows, and I want to hear about your first trade show, but I've been to many car wash shows over the years, and I remember being overwhelmed at the big international show with the acres upon acres of equipment and chemicals and colors and motion and lights and people and booth vendors and attention getters trying to get you into their booth or display, the educational seminars, the panel discussions, the scarcity of people, time that you want to connect with. It can be frustrating and even confusing if you don't have a plan. So tell us about your first trade show and how you have evolved and learned how to work it like a pro since then.
Good to see you again, Bruce. Oh, my first trade show. This would have been 2015, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Southeast Petro Show. It's like a kid in a candy shop. I thought all trade shows just started giving out free drinks and tchotchkes and pretzels and chips. And let's just say I learned the hard way that the convenience store show is a lot different than the car wash show. The car wash show can be very overwhelming if you don't plan right. But in general, you should leave every trade show with a lot more knowledge than you had going into it.
So you need to do your homework.
Absolutely.
You need to figure out who you want to see, what time constraints you have. Get a map. Most car wash shows have an app that you can download on your phone that tells you who's in what booth and how to get there. So what's the best way to come up with a plan to accomplish what you need to see, what vendors you need to see, who you might want to avoid, and what new technologies or products you may want to scope out?
Step one is to figure out which show you want to go to. There's three main shows that you can break it down into. One is in Texas, one is in New Jersey, and the ICA flips between Vegas and Nashville. So
now, the Texas and New Jersey shows are regional car wash, Southwest and
the Northeast.
Right.
So depending on where you are, those may be easier to get to. And unfortunately, again, this year, the ICA is on Mother's Day weekend. So a lot of guys, I'm sure, are not being allowed to go. That's one thing you need to practice early is to talk your wife into letting you go. Bring her along. Come in 2 days early, go to Broadway, do all the fun stuff, then put her on an airplane home on Mother's Day and then get to work at the show.
With a kiss and some flowers.
Absolutely.
So talk about doing your homework. How do you plot this out, especially if you're new or a rookie?
Absolutely. So like I said, the first thing is all these shows have apps traditionally, so you can find where everybody is. The other step is look at the exhibitor list. You'll be able to eliminate a lot of extra walking just by reading, each vendor and what they do. If you're only looking for equipment, you don't need to be on the other side talking to somebody about gas tanks. So eliminate a lot of the extra walking by doing some of your homework there. And then break it down into categories. If you want to spend the first half of one day only doing equipment, hit your hot spots there. Second half of the day, do your chemicals. Next day, whatever it is, break it up. That way, all your notes are easy to interpret, and you've got everything fresh on your mind. You're not combining different stories from different people and getting mixed up.
How about packing? How do I pack for a trade show? What do I need to wear? What sort of homework do I need to do about exploring where I might end up and what I need to look like professionally?
Well, this is a professional event, so business casual is nice. You'll set a much better impression when you walk into a booth. It's a lot better than tank tops and flip-flops. Nothing wrong with it, but you'll get a lot more attention from the people in the booth if you present yourself like you would want your business to be presented.
I know a lot of people will have backpacks to collect some of the material, and if they need a jacket or an extra water bottle, just something to carry around with them. Camel
packs are nice. Just make sure you put the right liquids in it.
So talk about once you're on the show floor to work a prioritized plan. How do you connect with your high priority vendors first and then explore from there as to who else you want to see or need to see?
Step one is team up with a local distributor. Whatever equipment you're looking at or interested in, find out who your local contact is for that equipment and let them be your guide. That way they can take you into the booth and connect you to the right person. As soon as you walk into a booth, sometimes it can be like piranha. You'll have 20 or 30 guys trying to talk to you, somebody from Washington, somebody from Florida, and you're in the middle of the Carolinas. Like, you need somebody that can help you build your relationship, answer your questions, and be the person you can contact outside of your distributor if you ever need it.
Good stories of somebody that you helped that turned out to be a smashing success or anything exciting happened?
Absolutely. I don't want to mention any names because his head's already too big enough. But back in 2019, it was my first trade show on the equipment side. And we had started a conversation about how can we help their company go to the next level. And this was early in 2019. And of course, we knew ICA was coming up in April and May. So we carved out probably 12 hours into 3 days and absolutely had a blast. I learned more in that trade show than I've learned anywhere else over the last 25 years. And even to this day, that guy, if I call him right now, he's going to pick up on the first or second ring. And I consider him, honestly, probably one of my best friends.
Oh, that's terrific.
So that's been really cool. And we've probably together been involved in close to 50 car washes together. In different stages of design, all the way up to the equipment, to looking at sites, to, hey, I want to buy this, or whatever the case is. So it's a constant, nonstop conversation.
And when it boils down to, it's a relationship business. I mean, there's lots of good equipment, lots of good chemicals, but
Absolutely.
who's gonna service you and be there when you call?
Absolutely. My famous line is, "This is not a transaction. This is a relationship."
You've been listening to David Martin, Howco Equipment Sales Manager for the Southeast Territory, share his insight and experience on how to get the most out of car wash trade shows. David, thanks for sharing this important knowledge about attending or working trade shows. You're certainly a treasure trove of knowledge and guidance for anyone in or wanting to enter the car wash business. This is How-To with Howco podcast, and we look forward to you joining us for subsequent episodes that help car washers plan, develop, and operate their business. For more information or to contact the Howco representative, please visit howco.com. I'm your host, Bruce Hensley. We'll see you again soon for another episode of How-To with Howco.